has dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Well, hello everyone. So this is a very real and very raw tour of my craft room. So I know that you've seen my craft room before. It kind of spills out onto my landing a little bit. So this is the landing. Don't look at the floor, it's an old carpet and it needs replacing, but money is too tight for that at the moment. I do have an on-air sign that would normally be on air if I had other people in the house to tell them I was filming, but it's not on. So it's spilled. So all of these books here are all of my books that I have purchased with an intention to do something with. So but you know what our intentions are like. So like we buy these things and then we think, well, actually, you know, I could do with, I like that one, I don't want to cut that one up, etc. So we're all in that situation, aren't we? You know, it's not just me. So please don't say it's me. And then I have some crates over here. Don't excuse the toilet rolls that just stood on the top, but these crates here, plus a huge amount that's stacked in my on top of my wardrobe in my bedroom, are all of my things that I've made. So sorry, it took me a while to get my words out. I'm trying to watch where I'm going and talk. An achievement as it is. So yeah, so I've got lots of things that are stacked on top of my bedroom walls. Wardrobe. Oh, try that again. Damn. So these are some of the other things that I've got that I've made, and some of the inspiration stuff and some vintage stuff, but all on top of my wardrobe. So there are some other bits. So now we're going to go into the actual craft room. So this is the craft room. So this was my spare room. I live in a 2-bedroomed house, and this used to be a spare room. It used to be big enough to have a double bed in it. However, it's not big enough to swing a cat in now. So yeah. So we'll start at the very beginning, because Julie Andrews told me that was a very good place to start. So we can see up here there are some rolls of roll wrap above the doorway, and as we come down to the doorway, hanging in the doorway is kind of my messy craft apron. It's an oversized shirt that I just wear whenever I'm crafting, really. So this craft room has not been tidied up for you. I've cleared my desk and pulled some things up off the floor, but this is not a reorganization. This is just literally how I live. I changed the way that the craft room was laid out a couple of years ago now, and I love the way that it's laid out. It's so easy to use, and I don't see any reason to change it. So what we'll do is we'll kind of just look around. So at the top here, that bin up there, that's for where I put everything that I've made. So once I've made it and it's done, it goes up there. That's all been decanted and put into those crates that you saw that are on my landing. So it's empty again, so I can start again, because it was piled high and spilling over, to be fair. Then we have random assortment of oddments that don't really fit anywhere. We've got some like smaller size pieces of card and, you know, bits of paper that I don't want to get rid of. Then we've got things like rolls of stuff, so press and seal. We've got some cling film. We've got some freezer paper, some more freezer paper there. We've also got some foil somewhere, I don't know where it is. And so that's what we have on this top bit. So what we'll do is we'll pan across and we'll talk about across, and then we'll go down. So things like the substrate that I use, and then these are some books to talk about. So I've bought some, I've done a bit of a craft haul recently, and that's going to be coming up in a video soon. So that's up there for me to talk about. Then we move on to, these are some of the things that I've made previously, but I want to keep in here because I want to do more to them. Then we've got other bits of substrate, random bits of card and paper and things that come in poly bags, like A4 paper, etc. We have an Eevee, because I am a Pokemon Go gamer. We've got Eevee up there, and that's what Vic bought me, so that's Eevee. And then we have Jodie. Do you recognise the picture here? So that's in my craft room. Mum is always watching over me, so thank you so much for that picture. It really means so much to me. I'll try not to get upset about it. So just give me a moment. So yes, thank you, Jodie, for that picture. It means so much to me, and she's always with me while I'm in my craft room. This is just my gimbal box. This is the box that this is the gimbal that I'm using now. And then across here, this is kind of, again, more ongoing stuff. So it's stuff that I can easily reach, but stuff that I'm doing something with. So you'll recognise here that the house is here. So that's here with, you know, stuff ongoing, other bits around it as well. And then we come back to here, which this has got some correspondence in it. It's also got some other paper and card, because I want to make a correspondence journal. So it's kind of like I've been building something. So every time somebody sends me something, some happy mail or whatever, and they send me some correspondence, I'm going to build a journal for that to all go in. So then we're going to move down, and we'll do it as it comes, really. So in these 4 cubes here, we've got fabric. So we've got remnants of fabric. So these 2 shelves here, these are my backdrops that you see when I do my thumbnails for my videos. In here we've got mostly fabric, usually ribbons, scraps of fabric, things I'm working on, things that I grab when I'm making stuff. Then we've got these boxes down here. So these are all my grey boxes that you'll see dotted around, the grey and black boxes. They're actually old ice cream tubs, are great for storing stuff in. At the very bottom here we've got an oddments shelf again. It's got some ribbon in there, etc. And at the very bottom in there, that cube behind the grey boxes, more oddments of fabric that need to be sorted. Same with this box down here, that's the same. And then we've got some like spares for the Xyrons just stuck on the very front, the various Xyrons that I have had stuck on the front here. Then we go across to here. So these are vintage ephemera bits. So they're genuine. So sometimes vintage ephemera and genuine ephemera are mixed together. So some of it's vintage, some of it's genuine. So things that I've bought that aren't old, but you know, like this tag for instance isn't old, but it's genuine. It's stuff that I will use. So then we've got bags and envelopes are all in here, so they're all kind of just shoved in that box there. In this one we've got scraps and oddments of paper and card. So whenever I've cut a 12 by 12 piece down, that's what I'm kind of putting it on. Sorry, I had to change hands. The gimbal's quite heavy, so it makes my hand ache. And then tracking down, we've got this is like what are they called? Coffee dyed paper. So like in each of those boxes, there's small in the little grey one. There's some smaller bits of coffee dyed. There's some envelopes in this white box here, and then in here there's like A4 sheets that have been coffee dyed. At the bottom here you can see there's napkins. So these are all the full-size pieces of napkins. There should be at least one of every style of everything I've got. Behind are scraps of napkin, and further back there's tissue paper. This is basically it's everything I pulled off my desk that I was like, well, I don't know where I'm going to put that. So that's where it went. So it's all the stuff I pulled off my desk, but behind it There's some more coffee dyed paper, envelopes, etc. Again, another box, another thing here of genuine ephemera, but it tends to be books, magazines, that sort of thing. Well, not books, magazines and publications that I've collected. And then here, this is all books and book pages that have been disassembled and they're ready to pull out whenever I need them. Then we're going to go over to here. I told you it was real and raw because like none of this is tidy, I realise, and some of this you're probably screaming at me for, but this is how it is. It works for me. I'm never going to be the tidiest person in the world. I'd rather be crafting than tidying, to be fair. So here we have all of the file folders that I've collected. Every time somebody at work has a clear out, I'm at the receiving end of that clear out. So it's all file folders. There's stuff on the top. This is all packing paper that's come from Amazon deliveries. When we get Amazon deliveries at work, we get loads of big things delivered that have sheets and sheets and sheets, and this is actually just all one piece, all just, you know, where it's like perforated. They haven't torn it apart. It's just one piece. I was rolling it for hours trying to get it to come home. So all of that is just tucked up there because there isn't anywhere else for it. This is all tends to be packaging, so Amazon packaging, etc. Envelopes. It all needs to fit in there nicely. It's spilling out. Then we've got music paper here. Music paper, a few of the odds and sods, so some coffee dyed paper, things that have just got an element of music about it, whatever. And then this is more of coffee dyed paper, but this was separated into colours, but not so much. And there's some more of the overspill of what I couldn't get up here. Then we've got coloured card, 12 by 12 coloured card stock. So it tends to be the solid colours that are in that one, because that's what I use for prototyping or for making paper flowers, etc. Then we've got 12 by 12 patterned cardstock in this one. Again, messy, it's just what it is. At the bottom there, that's A3 patterned and coloured cardstock. Here we've got some spillover A3 cardstock, but can't be used for paper flowers because it has a white core, so when you cut it you can see the white edge and I don't like it, so it's been separated out. And there's some books that I was bought for Christmas that I need to do something with down there as well. This is just another odds and sods box. And then the box here that you see on the floor, this is all my Tim Holtz or goes well with Tim Holtz. So this is stuff that I've either collected or been gifted or found at, you know, junk shops or found online, eBays, so that I can do lots of one sheet wonders. So I've got a lot of one sheet wonder stuff to work with. This is some old paper that was being thrown out from work, but it's nice and yellowed, so I kept it. And then we've got up the side here, you can see here there are all my pens, etc. Some stamps in the CD boxes, some bits of card and random stuff there. Then we've got some pens and paintbrushes and all the other stuff that you could ever desire. Up at the top here we have, these are just the bin store stuff of all those little bits that if you didn't put them somewhere they'd get lost. And then across the bottom here, these are all my index cards. So I started out with no index cards and now have hundreds of them. So I need to do a whole series on index cards. Maybe that's the next thing after one sheet wonders, things to do with index cards. Then we've got down here, so I'll just move this out of the way. Down here we've got the 3D printer and the washer for the 3D printer. So it's a resin based 3D printer, so it goes through a resin wash to clean it all off, and that's that. And then this is where, because it's right next to me, it's where I put other things that I'm working on or looking at or couldn't find anywhere to put. We've got some books down here that I'm currently working with. We've got in this one here, we have things to do with the resin printer. Then we've got scoreboards and cutting boards, etc. This box at the bottom here, This is all of my glue, paper and card I need to hand if I'm making something. And behind that I've got my Tim Holtz stamps and my clear acrylic stamps. This box here has, there's a box at the very back of there, just that brown one there. That's got my stencils in it. And then there's dye sprays are all there. My 2 bricks, so we've got Mavis and Audrey sat there waiting to come into, you know, requirement. Then there's this little box. This has just got all the things for drying, and then it's got a couple of like snacks in case I ever need snacks. Of course, we all need snacks, don't we? I'm going to show you a very quick look under my desk. So under my desk, I have, this is my clean up stuff for when I'm doing UV. We've got a laminator in the back there. And then we've got more UV stuff and my Xyron in this one. At the back of there, we have so we've got my die cutter, my typewriter and sewing machine are in that cube at the back there. So one of my sewing machines anyway. So, and then I have a under desk heater for when I'm cold. And then this is where you see me putting my stuff off to one side, which is my cutter and my big bite and my scoreboards and my glass mat when I'm doing messy stuff. So let's go back up to here. So this is the window. So it looks onto my neighbour's property. But this is where on this window ledge is where this is all of my fussy cutting ephemera stuff. It's sort of sorted. So for instance, this has people in it. This has words and quotes. This has flowers. This is words and quotes. This is frames and borders. This is entomology. This is travel, vintage ads, people, lots of boxes of people, snippets, tags, fruit. This is mostly flowers, but stuff to sort as well. So, like I say, there's a lot. And then this is why I am not buying any more stuff. So, in case you wondered why there was toothbrushes on there, by the way, that is for when I'm cleaning stuff with my UV print, for my UV printing. So when I'm cleaning it off with isopropyl, that isopropanol, that's it. Then this is a little carousel with all of my sprays and alcohol inks and distress stain on. We have another carousel here that's got pegs on the side, pegs and clips and things on the side, but then this has got all of my stamps in it. So, you know, my various stamps and some odd bits there that don't belong in there. I'll move them out of the way. Like all of my office stamps that I buy off eBay. We've got my Rolodex over in the corner, my long sought after Rolodex. I managed to get one. I haven't done anything with it since. And then on this wall, so like I'll show you where we are now. I'm just going to step back so you can see where we are proximity wise. Let me just move some things out of the way. So this is the desk that I sit at. So directly behind me is those Kallax units, those square units. And so this is what I see when I'm sat at my desk. So I would sit here, and that's basically, you see that mat normally, and that's what I see in front of me. So all of this. So let's go through this. So this is my pegboard here. In front of it I have tools and equipment and frequently used stuff I need to hand. Further up the board, less often used but still needs to be to hand. As you can see here, I have 2 desk lamps, one here and one here, that are daylight bulbs in them. Same with my bulb in the ceiling, and it doesn't have a shade on because I don't want it to be shaded. I want to have all the light. So less often used but still required. But you'll see directly in front of me I have like my scissors and tools for making holes, etc. And then I've got all my various Whoever thought when we were growing up and we used a ruler at school that you'd need so many rulers? Then there's various punches here and bunches. Then on the top we've got some of the stuff that we need for making stuff, so spray and shine, and there's the foam is for when I'm doing like foam art, and I've got some Goo Gone for removing sticky marks, and I've got some mirror mist, etc. So just like little bits of stuff that we might need. I can't think what the term is. Yeah, stuff. Liquid stuff. And then at the very top here we have, so at the very top is my top hat that I did for when I was on TV. Then in the boxes down here I've got overflow storage, so it tends to be tags, coin protectors, game cards, playing cards, etc. Then you'll see here, this is the clamp on which the phone is normally clamped to, because this is the thing that is the overmount for the desk. Then we've got little bits of ephemera, with one missing, and I can't find it. It's gone AWOL. I'm sure it'll turn up, but I just can't find it. It's probably under something, to be fair. With, you know, all sorts of different things in, like light bulbs and paper clips and loops and, you know, these, whatever they're called, tape measures, you know, all of that there, with various things clipped onto the front because I didn't know where to put them. Then we've got, this is where most of my frequently used inks are. So the frequently used one, my She Who Shall Not Be Named has been moved. It used to be over here. It's been moved over to here, but that's where that is. Then I've got my little mini printer here that Vic bought me, and my tools again on a nice little carousel so I can get to whatever I need. So if you hear that in the background, you can tell what I'm doing. I'm searching for something. And then all of my daubers, etc., and some more daubers under there. These are just my glasses and my flasks of water because I get very thirsty talking all the time. Then I've got the Tim Holtz, I think they're 10 by 8 cards that he brought out after, you know, stopping doing 12 by 12s, but apparently 12 by 12s are coming back. I don't know. Looks very expensive to me, but I don't know. I saw it on something Simon Says, I think. Then we've got a carousel. This is the carousel of glue. So you've heard, I don't know whether you've heard of the carousel of love, but it's a song, by the way. But this is the carousel of glue, which is not. It's not a song. It's a carousel of glue. Then I've got my Cricut is under here. So my little Cricut, oh, my Cricut Joy is over there, by the way. So sorry if it's making you feel a bit dizzy, me spinning around. Spinning around. Oh, okay, stop. And then we've got, remember those boxes I talked about? This is where the majority are, and this is all sorted out into whatever the label says is what's on it. And it just means that when I need alcohol inks, I can go, oh, alcohol inks, pull those out. If I need spare glue sticks, they're there. If I need UV resin, pegs, clips, cleats and clamps, they're all in there. Alpha and numerical dimensional stuff, so they're like stick-on letters and numbers, etc. So that's all there. Tissue boxes, which is great for when you're doing any kind of paper mache. So I get lots of tissue, keep lots of tissue. We've got stuff to rust, which is just behind here. We've got rusted stuff over there. And then over here, which is we're nearly at the end, we've got all of the other the other inks that aren't right directly in front of me. So I don't do a lot where I need seedless preserves, for instance, and you know, iced spruce maybe. Don't use either iced spruce or iced spruce either very often, but when I do, they're there. So and that's why there's lots of gaps in it, because I've had them all here and moved them all over there. And then we've got the mats for the cricket, and I do have a brother scan and cut, but it's just on another place, which is overspilled into my bedroom. So, and then I've got tubes of roll wrap, etc., and some cloths that are dry cloths that just hung over the edge of the balcony here, the landing. So as I was saying, this is me. This is my face. I have rosacea, so I don't tend to be on camera so much anymore. It's very sore, and it probably doesn't look as bad on camera. I'm trying to see whether it does or not. It does, but it doesn't look as bad as it does in real life. So I try not to take my photo quite so much. So anyway, so looking down, this is where I beautify myself. This is kind of my beautifying station, and this is where some of my craft has overspilled to. This is just, don't look at all the stuff on the floor, and I'm not a tidy person. This is a trolley that I've got, and it's got all the other bits that I have nowhere for in my craft room on it. So yeah, so this is my bedroom, because like, there you go, there's my bed, that's my wall, sun shining in through the window. So we'll go back, and then we'll talk a bit more. So that is kind of our tour for today. So I've put the gimbal mode on face tracking, so it should follow me when I'm moving around. This is my very squeaky chair. I really need to get, there we go. I really need to get a new chair that doesn't squeak, but maybe that's, going to happen in the future. I don't know when. So is it better looking at me so that you can't see my chins looking up, or is it better to look down so you can't see my chins? I don't know. Anyway, so don't look at the shirt. Either the shirt's dirty. This is my crafting t-shirt. So yeah, this is my empire. And I hope you've enjoyed having a bit of a real and raw tour. The face tracking suddenly goes wild and starts tracking something else. So yeah, that's it. So I've not wanted to have my face on camera for a long time, but I don't feel quite so bad now I've done it once. I used to love being on camera, but since having rosacea, it's just been really, every time I do it, if I don't do it and explain it, somebody will ask me what's wrong with you. So it's rosacea, you can't catch it, and you certainly can't catch it over the YouTube, so over the internet. I can't download it to you. You can't catch it anyway. And they don't know what it is either, so it's just one of those things, and I've got cream and stuff, and yeah, anyway, so that's it. That's the real and raw tour of my craft room. Today is Sunday the 9th of March. It's 15:15. So that's 3:15 for those people that don't know what 15:15 is. It's 3:15 in the afternoon. It's Sunday, and I'm about to finish doing another video that I'd started doing half of, but I had to wait until it was dry. So that's where I'm going to go now. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. My name is Dash of Dave, and guess what? Even after saying all of this and all of this, I love you all without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. And please, please, please give the video a thumbs up. Please, I beg you. Please give the video a thumbs up. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share. As the jingle says, of one of my recent videos. I'll continue doing the jingles, and we'll see where they go. So there might not have been a carousel of glue song previously, but there might be after this. Who knows? Yeah, so just, thanks for being here, and I really do appreciate you, and I definitely couldn't do this without you. I literally, every penny that anybody sends me, or every penny of the stuff that you buy from Etsy or Ko-fi gets ploughed back into this. So I'm not making money from it. I'm ploughing it back into my resources so that I can do new things and come up with new ideas. Currently on what is it, 48 one sheet wonders, so I think you get good value for money out of just those. So anyway, there'll be more coming soon. Thank you very much for watching me. I love you, and I will leave you. I'm not going to tell you I love you all without exception, because I've already done that, and I'm going to go now. So thanks very much. My name is Dash of Dave, and I will see you in the next video. All right, folks, love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. It's much better now. You can see me face on, and I'll give you a big hug, but the face tracking might not work. Big hugs. Oh, yeah, thank you. All right, then. Take care, folks. Love you. Bye. Bye.